everyone, I'm Dr. Laura Bellis here today with another video, and this one is about fasting. Yeah, everyone's been talking about it for probably, oh goodness, over at least a couple of years now in my practice, and there is not always a one-size-fits-all approach. So a lot of the questions I get, especially from women, are like, should I be fasting? And the purpose of this video is just to give you a few things to consider. And the first thing is, how long are you fasting for? So actually for most of my patients, in almost all circumstances, an overnight fast of 12 hours is definitely fine and is definitely safe. Again, depending on if you're on insulin, that would be an example of an exception, because insulin can, of course, drop your blood sugar too low if you're not eating over a certain period of time. But the majority of us, 12 hours is a really great idea for us to get started on fasting. And to be honest, 14 or 16 hours for most people is also fine. But once you get past that 16-hour mark, even for a lot of women after 12 hours or 14, we start to see if you have any hormonal or adrenal issues, they start to come out at this time, meaning you start to see, your body not responding as well. You might actually gain weight. You might feel more tired, more irritable. And these are signs that you really need to investigate to see, are you a good fit for fasting? And if so, how long should you be doing it? A good important test to consider, and this is probably the place we should all start, is getting your fasting insulin tested. And this is not the same as blood sugar. It is a blood test, and it's done by most conventional MDs, and myself as a naturopathic doctor, I use it a lot with my patients because it gives us an idea of how your body is adapting to sugars and carbs. And if your insulin is high, your fasting insulin is high, or even halfway over the normal range, we know it's not optimal, and fasting is probably better for you. Not always longer than better, but in many cases, fasting can probably help you. But if your fasting insulin is pretty low, you probably are okay to just do the 12 hours overnight and use other ways and mechanisms to balance your overall health, lose weight, boost your energy, etc. So start with the fasting insulin and start with a 12-hour fast. In many cases, that's more than enough. If you really want the health and anti-aging effects of autophagy, or kind of when your body cleans up its own debris, you can work with a healthcare practitioner to do maybe a 1-day or 2-day fast each month or each quarter, and that can be really helpful, but you don't want to really do that stuff on your own, especially if you don't know what your numbers are. So get your fasting insulin tested and see if you should be doing longer fasts than you are. And if you haven't tried fasting, 12 hours is definitely a great way to start, because it will start to reset your insulin levels and your insulin sensitivity. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and leave any comments below.